Hi friends, it's Becky, and I just realized after we finished unboxing the companion bundles from Bead Box Bargains for the April Showers Bargain Bead Box, that's the April 2025 Bargain Bead Box, I unboxed it with my sister and I said that I would be making a pair of earrings with it, and then I forgot to do it during that. So this is a separate video, which is great for those of you who didn't want to sit through an unboxing but would like to watch me make some earrings. So I'm going to be using components from that companion bundle to make a pair of earrings, and then I'm also going to make a second pair of earrings also using components from that bundle because I did not get enough time. I was very busy yesterday to do a pair of earrings, and I had challenged myself to make at least one pair of earrings every day for the month of April. So I missed a day, so I'm making up for today by doing 2 earrings in this video. So the components that I'm going to be using for this one are these glass steel blue beads, some of these shell beads, keep going out of frame, that's fine, and then this was a toggle clasp, but it doesn't seem like it would actually work well as a toggle clasp, and often, sometimes really cool toggles are more form than function, but it makes a great charm. So I'm going to be making a pretty simple beaded link with a dangle type earring. I'm going to do the same thing on this earring as well. We're going to be doing basically the same type of link. And for this one, I'm going to be using some of the cherry blossom agate, some of these scrolled bead caps, and a couple of these bicones. I'm also going to be using these glass cloud beads and these fun cloud-shaped bead frames because look, the cloud beads fit perfectly inside of those. I'm also going to use this cubic zirconia drop, these little pendants, because they have a little bit of a light blue color to them, so they're going to work perfectly with these light blue other beads. So let's put these together. I'm using some 22 gauge wire for the wire work. And because I'm working with some wire, I've got some round nose pliers, some chain nose pliers, and some flush cutters. And I just went ahead and made some ear wires so that we can get started. Alright, so the first link that we're going to make it with this one. I'm going to straighten out my wire first, and I like to work off the spool when I make wrapped loop links because it helps me not over measure and use too much wire. So I'm just going to stick all 3 of these beads on here. It's a very simple operation. And then about 2 inches down from the end, I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm going to use my pliers to bend it away from me, and then I'm going to push the wire up and around that top part of the pliers, open up the jaw, swing it around, and then keep pushing that wire around until it crosses over like that. I'm going to hold on to that loop and use my finger to push the wire around the neck of it, the rest of it. You can also use a second pair of pliers to move that around. I just usually find it's pretty easy for me to move it with my fingers, but it might not be easy for you to do that, and so pliers are a great option. I'm going to measure 3 fingers down from the bottom of that bead. This is why I put them on the spool first, and cut the wire, not your fingers. And now I want a perpendicular loop, so I'm going to make sure that this bottom loop here, now that I've turned this upside down, is a circle and not a straight line when I'm looking at it. I'm going to hold on to the beads right here, push that over the top, and then pull this around and over, just like I did with the other loop, but I'm going to stop here and I'm not going to wrap it yet. I'm going to slide my charm onto the bottom, close that up, then hold on to that loop and do some wrapping. Again, you can use a second set of pliers or your fingers like I am, whichever works best for you. And then grab an ear wire. Put this on there. I've got to adjust where I'm at. Alright, there we go. So those ones are done. Let's do the second one. And I'm going to be stacking these beads on the same way that I did for these. That's just the other side of it. It's got the shell, and then it's got like really cool design on the opposite side, so I don't really care which way it's showing. Either way looks really cool. So before I get this strung on, I'm going to fit my glass cloud bead into the bead frame. And if it doesn't fit this way, turn it over, because it will definitely fit the other way. That's something that I found when I was doing it. It fits one way and not the other. Right, and I'm going to be basically doing the same thing that I did over there. Straighten out my wire. And then with that bead frame and the bead together, I'm going to go through the hole in the bead frame, the hole in the bead, and a second hole in that bead frame. And then I'm going to add my bicone, my bead cap, and I want the curved part of that cap to be facing towards my cherry blossom agate bead. And then I'm going to put my other bead cap on. Again, the curved part is going to be facing towards my larger bead. And then we're going to give it a little fancy hat. It's got his fancy shoes and his fancy hat with a bicone. And now I'm going to do the same type of loop that I just did before with my round nose pliers. Bend back, bring it over and around, rotate the jaw. And once that's crossed, you can wrap around your wire. Alright, and this is the same thing. I'm going to want this to be perpendicular, but first I need to cut this off. So, there we go. Now I can hold it down here, turn it upside down, and I'm going to bend this back with my round nose pliers and then around towards the front. I have to maneuver it pretty wide to get around this bead and the bead frame because it's pretty close to there, but it can be done. And I'm going to put on my little cubic zirconia drop right there. Close that up. This part may be easier with another set of pliers because this can get a little bit in the way when you're wrapping this around under here. There we go. Alright, and then once this is wrapped, you can snip off the excess, tuck in your end with your pliers, grab a ear wire, open it, attach it, and close it. And now I have a pair of earrings for today and a pair of earrings for yesterday, and both of these were made with the companion bundle from Bead Box Bargains. Oh, I have to turn that around the other way. That's all right, I will. I'll definitely do that. But now we have that. That was made with the companion bundle. I will link to our unboxing if you're interested in seeing that. I'll also link to my Earrings Everyday playlist where the other earrings that I've made for this challenge can be found. And I'll also link to Bead Box Bargains where you can find great prices on beads, findings, closeout prices, and extras from the Bargain Bead Box. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy beading!